think I'm live. Let me know if I'm not. Hopefully, microphone's working, I think. Can you hear me now? If you can't, if you can hear me now, this live feed will stay up. Okay, you can hear me now. I wanted to put you a little bit closer. Yeah, let's get close. Hello. Hi Emily Jane, you're right. Hi Georgina. Hello Alyssa. Hi Kaylee. Now I can say hi to everyone. Now you can hear me. Hi Stace. Hi Rob. Yay, I'm not deaf. Sorry about that. Yeah, so the live feed will stay up Forgive the reflection you've got going on here. I might turn it off while we do this particular bit. You don't have to do it this way. You can completely trace down your lines. But I thought it might actually be quite good for you to see how you can do grid. Buy me dinner first. Where'd you fancy? Somewhere posh, or we're going to slum it? Right, let's... I was looking at your stickers and I'm thinking about buying some. Oh, thank you, Louisa. They're really, really cute, aren't they? I really like the ones that have come out recently. This is a really bad angle for my triple chin job here, so I apologise if my chin offends anybody tonight. I call it my natural scarf. Keeps me warm in winter. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Right, we'll leave it a couple more minutes just to wait for a few more people. So while we're waiting, I'll chat you through what I've got here. I've actually got two of them. Don't know what that was. I remember, Mads. Hi. Yeah, I did say hi, but you couldn't hear me at the time because apparently I've muted myself. Let me zoom in. I might lose the camera here a bit. I'm going to do a bit of techie crap and then it'll all go wrong and all that stuff. Hi, Erica. Okay, I'm going to zoom in for starters because you really want a close-up of this right now. I think everything else is okay. Yeah, that's better. Right, okay, so ages ago I got this printable acetate and I printed just a basic 1-inch grid on it. So if I ever wanted to do any gridding, I could just do it really easily. So I could just lay the sheet over and I wouldn't have to keep drawing it. So I've only got one place I have to draw and that's on here. So all I'm going to do is replicate exactly what I've got here. You don't have to do this. You can do the trace down method if you want. It's okay, my face offends everyone 3 times a week. We like to offend people. Yeah, so I'm just going to do a quick 1-inch grid. I'm not really bothered where on the paper it ends up, to be honest. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. God, this ruler's not very easy to look at. What have I done there, you dingus? I've not worked out properly. Oh, it's roughly 2.5. So I didn't know where I needed to start my next grid off from. I don't even know if they're straight either, so that's helpful. 11, 10, that's better. 8, 7, 6. It's shining in all the wrong places. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want 5 up. Just going to join them up quick. There is probably an easy way of doing this, but it's been one of them days where I was going to have a day off and it didn't happen. And I ended up being productive, but things then started to go a bit wrong. Okay, they're seriously going wrong there. What on earth have you done there, Benita? There we go. I don't have a ruler. Oh my god, I've got some prints. Why did I never? There you go, you now know. I'm sure Nick will be able to sort you out, but if you can't get sorted with Nick, let me know as well, because I had a few issues with OBS and there's certain things that you've got to change, but I'm sure Nick will get that sorted out. This is what I was doing. I'll show you guys who are interested, but I was making my sticker packs up. I love doing these. So I was making my sticker packs up earlier today because I was printing off all my derps. And you get a set of 6 in there. So these are all stickers. So I've had to bung them up really quickly on pre-order on my Etsy because I did a TikTok live while I was packaging them up. But they're really, really cute. I'm really pleased with how they came out. I'm not too bad. Ask me in February. What did I say? I wanted 5, didn't I? So I'm going to use that dot as my beginning dot. So 1. So how is everybody here on the feed? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to show you the trace down method in a minute. If you don't want to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Done one too many. Don't want that one. I'll show you how to do the trace down method in a minute if you don't have a ruler. Or if you're not able to print the image off, just do a rough sort of drawing of what I'm doing. Or if you'd like me to guide you completely from hand, let me know. Either way, I'll work around you guys. What would you prefer? By hand, by grid, or by trace down? What would you guys prefer I did? Oh. My issue is also always with my camera. I have to use a software called Camera Live. It's the only way I can use my SLR as a camera. I mean, I'm happy to go with whatever you want me to do. I don't mind. Mads has asked if we can do it by hand. But I'll get the grid ready in case people change their mind. The grid or the trace down is the best way to get it most... Oh, apparently not when you can't actually get your measurements correct. Can you tell it's been one of those? Oh, screw it. It'll give me a rough idea. As long as you have enough squares. We're going up at an angle here somehow, so I don't know what I've done. This is why I don't carve wood, guys. Oh, Stace, my nibs came. This is completely pissed. Look at that one. That one's like right up there. You sure you didn't sneak something into my coffee earlier? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You must be new to pencils.
I am very new to pencils. Yeah, I'm a bit of a pencil noob. Okay, Emily. I don't mind. Right, everybody else, what do you want me to do, guys? Yay! I know, cool, huh? I got really excited. They arrived ages ago, but I haven't had a chance to have a play with them. But they're all in here already. You were having a look. I didn't realise how small the spoon one was going to be. It's like teeny tiny. I was expecting it for some reason to be much bigger than that. I want to start learning by doing grid at the mo, but trace down is still the quickest and the most accurate. It is, to be fair. Right, you've got a few more minutes to tell me whether you want grid by hand or whether you just want to do the trace down method. Get it over and done with. Because the challenge today is drawing in biro, not so much about how to draw something. That's giving you a rough idea. Anyway, I mean, what you would do for those of you who aren't used to the gridding method, you would literally look at your, normally you would number them. So mine start in number 1, so this would be number 1, and then the first bit starts in number 3, so 1, 3. And you would literally just draw what you see in that part of the grid, and you just work your way along like that. So like on the very bottom of this part of, if I put it in there, the very bottom part of this bit of the grid, you can see the crease in the line. Then that comes out into that bit. So that's, right, by hand please, trace down, trace down, trace down. So it looks like trace down at the moment. So we're going to do trace down for now. When we're a bit more familiar with it, then we can maybe do some by freehand. Okay, so that gives you a rough idea on what to do with grid, but I'll do something a bit more extensive. I'll probably do something on TikTok as well. So turn your paper over if you have printed your reference off. Get yourself a 2B is probably best. Why haven't I got an aquarelle pen in there? Oh, there you go. Look, I've just got 6B graphite pencil. And I can just about see through my light where the reference is. So all I'm going to do is draw a circle around roughly where I need to put my graphite. And then literally just layer graphite down. I know a lot of people use the transfer paper, but I'm not keen on the transfer papers. I find it actually really hard to erase. And just get a good layer of graphite down. Then we are going to, I did pop the link in the chat. Let me do it again for those who didn't see it earlier. This is the reference that we're going to be drawing from. So if you notice, this is quite important. Put blue tack on the opposite corners. Don't put it on all 4. Never put it on all 4, and I'll show you why in a minute. So just pop it on. I'm going to work that way now. Pop it on your paper. Push it down. You still having problems?
Wow's now doing an update.
I'm surprised you didn't have that update in earlier.
I think we, my fault.
That's not matter, does it? It just means you sat there longer. I'm going to use a red pen because it's easier to see where you've gone with a biro than it is with a pencil. Is it? The link, I don't know that you're going to be able to see it. I've just popped the link in the comments, about 3 comments up, but I don't know whether you can see it, Mads. Let me do it again, just in case. So you need to click on this link. I've got no ink in the printer. Ah! Are you going to hand draw it then, Rob, or are you just going to watch? It's more to give you the process. I mean, I'm no expert, but I can give you tips on the process of working with biro. So I am just going to put in the main bits of the eyebrow I can see. She's got very messy eyebrows. Bushy eyebrows. Remind me of Amelie's eyebrows, actually. Like so. So you can easily see where you've gone if you do it in pen. Are you just going to watch tonight, are you, Rob? So just get down the major lines that you see. We've got a couple of patches here, and we've got the shadow which comes up and around. Get the main shape of the eye in. And any shadows you can see under there, we've got what I assume is veining. Now the reason I've said only do the corner is because you're able to then lift and see if you're happy with the amount of information you have down. You might not be able to see mine very well, but it is on there. So if you find that it's not being pushed down far enough, you can just go over that area again if you need to. What on earth is that? You're getting the booze out. You're not drinking that rum, are you? I want one. So all you need to do is trace the major areas. Are you having one? You cheeky.
Wee!
Ah, yeah, I can't. Don't think I'm allowed to do that on a live feed. Do you?
Yeah, you're not showing them.
Okay, I won't say no.
As your pen slips across the desk.
I'm a little bit drunk.
I don't hear what to say about having a little bit of... I don't know what
There's
to
a
say.
reason I don't drink alcohol, and it's not because I can't handle it. It's because my ears can't handle it.
It's alright, we're not going to get in it by the looks of things.
Oh God, are you there with a scalpel?
No, scissors, so I can double whammy it.
We'll get both fingers at the same time. So that's all you want. You just want your main bit of information down, and then again I can just lift that corner and check, and then that way it doesn't move and I can just put it back down. But if I blue tacked all four, I would have to undo it and move it. Emily says hi.
Hello.
He's opening the
Hang on.
brambles.
Hang on.
Ah, coffee and walnut liqueur rum. Nice.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit dangerous, isn't it?
Don't moan at me if I don't get up in the morning.
Don't moan at me, it's no one needs to stop.
Sorry everyone's late. Right, I am going to show those people that want to do it freehand how to draw an eye freehand, because I think it's only fair. So let me just grab my kid's pad. Thank you, Amelie, for the loan of your pad. Oh, look! She gets so frustrated when she draws these, but she draws really cute things and then gets really annoyed. And I don't know why, because that's like so cute. I'm not allowed to print it out. That's all right. You're supposed to drink, not pour. Okay, so here's the problem. Apparently, and it is a thing, so Google it. It's overactive salivary glands. So alcohol, I stopped drinking 6 years ago, because every time I drank any form of alcohol, I would get a really bad piercing pain in my ears.
Right, cup of joe.
Can I sneak off camera? What way do I need to go? I need to go that way.
I love scotch. Scotch, scotch, scotch.
That's weak.
You stay classy, San Diego.
That's nice. It wasn't very generous though. I need a double. Okay, so let's use my kid's drawing. Doesn't taste much like coffee and walnut, to be fair. Right, I'm hoping, yeah, you should be able to see this. So the best way I can describe if you're brand new to drawing this type of thing is to just very roughly draw a rectangle like so, and about a quarter of the way up just draw another line like that. So if you get that far, and tell me when you're that far. You're the old bloaty. Yeah, I hate that. Right, let me know. Might be a little bit slower than it normally is, because obviously I want to wait for people to either catch up, or once I get the line work down, then we can work on the eye all together. So it's not a problem. Done. Right, okay. So you then want to find the centre of that and draw a line down the middle, like so. Then on this side, I like to very roughly, you can change the shape of this depending on the shape of your eye, but if you just copy roughly what I've done there, and I'm going to do the same this side, I'm going to have a little bit more of a slope, like so. And then from here up to here, for example, you just draw a circle. Doesn't have to be neat. In fact, it's easier if you do lots of circles, because then you can just refine the best one, if you know what I mean. And then another one inside for the pupil. And then that sort of gives you the beginnings. Is anyone having a go at doing this by hand other than Mads? Might make that a bit bigger actually. I hope you guys are giving it a go. Very quiet in chat. I'm just going to go off here and drink. If my cheeks go really red, you know that's why. Okay, I think there's at least a minute delay. Doesn't matter what colour pen you use, Georgina. Okay, so we then start refining the shape. So from this bit here, we want to create our top lid. So we just curve that around and then come down and meet the other one. If you want it, you can have it a bit more open. So depending on how much gap you leave between your top eyelid and your pupil will determine how wide your eye is. My cheeks go red without drink. And then all we're going to do is we're going to bring this down, and this bit here is where our, I don't know what it's called, comes along, and then we start to scoop down. And we follow this line we've created at the bottom with a slight curve, and then we come all the way up to this corner here, like that. Gives you a rough idea. And then the inner lid starts thinner here, and then it gets wider as you come closer to the outer edge of your eye, and it curls up and around, and that's sort of what creates the roundness of the eye on the outer corner. Well, the tear duct is actually here, and I've got two of them in one eye. So there you go, a bit of a uniqueness. I don't know what it's called actually. Should we have a quick look at eye anatomy? Eye anatomy. Am I going to get grossed out by what I see? Images. It's only showing me the eyeball. I want the actual eye. Haha, haha. That doesn't help. Okay, all the pictures I can see. No, that's not helpful. Don't know what it's called. Can't see it quickly. Sleep gatherer. Sleep snot gatherer. Sleep bogies. That's so annoying that you can't find a simple... Oh, what's this? It's called a puncta. P-U-N-C-T-A. No, it's not. That's the tear duct. Okay, I give up. Don't know. If anyone finds it. Ah, there you go. Thank you, Ellie. Knew someone would find out. All done. Right, okay. So at this stage, we then bring in the inner part of the roundness of the ball. And then from there, you can work out more of the shape of this top lid. So for me, I want to shorten this section here because it's too big. And then I'm going to come up much quicker on that eye. So I'm going to refine that a little bit more. Like so. I'm just going to start drawing heavily over the marks that I would keep. Erase some as it's getting a little bit untidy. So if it gets to that point, you can erase some of yours because it'll just help you see a bit clearer as you do it. Let's get rid of that. So I can see that my pupil actually needs to be larger. I mean, if it's on a really sunny day, you wouldn't. It'd be much smaller. So that's just going to roughly scribble inside. Then you normally have an inner crease, which sort of tends to come. Sometimes they come down, sometimes they come out. It really depends on your eye. But normally it sits behind the top part here and then comes out the other side, like so. And then sometimes you can get your upper lid, which can be this bit. So if you're lidded, I think that's right, then it can be tucked away. If you've got more of a lid, then you would start to bring that crease up. So lidded and non-lidded, I think that's right. And then you can just draw a very rough shape in here and just leave some of those little areas white. And the bit that everybody dreads is the eyelashes. And because I've already drawn them in here, I'll give you a rough idea of how to do it now, and then we'll move on to the biro. But the direction of your lashes from the middle will go from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And then as you come round, think of it as a clock. So by the time you get down here, you're flicking out to 3 o'clock. And what you'll do is from this point here, you will come out, around, and then over. So you create a curve. And then you just come around. If you, as I say, if you imagine a clock, you just come around. It doesn't matter if any crossover, it doesn't matter if you have a couple of short ones or a long stray one. But each time you come round, you start to just sort of change the direction of those, but having this little curve underneath just makes them feel more natural. You can get longer as you come out and then shorter as you come towards this side. So I'm just going to do some little short ones here in the same manner. I hope you're going to come and share these in the group, and if you're on TikTok, make sure you tag me. And then when we come to do the bottom set, you do them from this edge. You don't do them from in here, and you don't do them from here. You use this edge. And again, you have light ones which can go in different directions. I'm going to press a bit heavier just so you can see a bit better. Then you get a little bit longer as you come to the middle. And again, you can cross them over if you want to. Have the odd long one. You can have the odd one that sits just inside, because you do get them. And then again, you just start to change the direction that they curve. And then sometimes they sort of come up and meet the outer one. For the first time, my lashes look good. Yay! And that is the basics of just getting an eye sketch down. So hopefully, I'm off for a little sip of drink. I'll be seeing double. Hopefully that gives you an idea of just getting the basic sketch down. And then by the time we come and shade it, it will start to look a bit more 3D and realistic. Now, I am no expert in biros. And I can't decide whether I'm going to do blue or red. I think I might do blue because I like blue biro drawings. So who's using biro, who's using ink? As in like a liner pen. I nearly did purple, but I'm not sure I've got enough ink left in my purple. In fact, I might use my kid's pad again. There's about a minute delay between me talking and them hearing it.
What's that?
I don't know, it's hugely long. Oh, I need to go open a window, I think. This is the other reason why I don't drink. It makes me really hot.
I think the internet's slow around here. I don't know if they're doing something.
Possibly with the amount of...
Well, it's been cutting in and out here and there.
Oh, bless you. I don't know how to spell, but not ink. Okay, that's fine. Okay, are we ready then? Make sure you've got a scrap bit of paper with you, even if you don't have the reference. So we're just going to go through some very quick basics on different shading techniques that I know. Look at that, look. Amelie's a little elf. I need to find a bit she won't mind me stealing. Back of that maybe? No, it's her dress. Okay. Are any of you woodworking lovelies going to have a go at this? I think you should. Okay, so just like a pencil, the way you hold your pen can alter the way that your ink flows out of the nib, which then alters the sort of depth of colour, I guess. I'm going to... Do I need to zoom you in? No, I think you're all right. So I imagine most of you are familiar with different types of shading techniques. So you've got your traditional dotting, or pointillism, which is your traditional dots. Turn the light that way a bit more, that's better. You then have hatching, which goes in one direction, like so. And then cross hatching is when you go in the other direction as well, so you're crossing over. You then have what is actually a term. It's a scribbling term, so you can use that for shading. Oh, you can find another pen. We'll wait, my lovely. Is that in focus? There we go. You've then got normal shading, and well, let's put a bit more pressure on actually so you can get to see it. But we'll end up using a mixture of probably these three today, so they're the ones that we're going to be looking at. But just like a pencil, where you hold it will alter it. So if I hold it right down near the end of the nib, I can put pressure on and I can get quite a nice solid layer of colour down. I'm rushing it a bit here. I'm going to move my hand further up my pen, and I can't put as much pressure down on the pen nib. I'm going to move it up again, even less pressure. Yeah, any pen. And then if I bring it right up to the top, even less pressure. So you can see how easy it is to shade from a nice dark into a nice light. So that's what you need to practice when we come to doing shading. I'll try and remind you each time we go into a different section of the eye, but they're the ones that we're going to be concentrating on. So I'm going to put that there. If I blue tack that, no, it's not going to work. I need to come out, but I don't really want to. I need you to see as much as you can. Uh-oh. You've got to go find pens. Go find pens. Lucky for the rewind option, huh? So just like if you're working with pencil, you're going to be working from your darks to your lights. It's the easiest way to get your head around where you need to get shading done. So we're actually initially going to start on the eyebrow, because pen is likely to smudge very easily. So you want to work, if you're right-handed, you want to start here, work your way across, and then we go down. If you're left-handed, you want to work up here on the right-hand side and then work your way down. Excuse the scratches on my hand, by the way. I had to rescue my cat out of her collar one-handed, who, by the way, has a really comfortable cat bed next to a box with wrapping paper in, and she's asleep in the box with wrapping paper. So we are going to start then on the eyebrows, and I'm going to start by going fairly medium pressure, and I'm just going to do some very light hair strokes. And with her, as I say, her eyebrows are fairly messy, so we can get away with being a little bit messy. But if you notice, my hand's not too far down near the tip, so I can have a bit more control about how much pressure I put on. So that gets the bulk of her sort of heavier hairs down. And then all I'm going to do is bring my hand up, and then I'm just going to shade over the top of that. And just follow the direction of the hairs. get a little bit darker in this section. So I'm just going to make that a tiny bit darker there. Keep going round. And once I've done that, I'm going to cross hatch this section in here because this needs to be a bit darker. So I'm just going to lightly cross hatch over that section, just where it needs to be the darkest. Then I'm going to go and refine some of these eyebrow hairs and make them a bit darker. And you'll notice I'm not being particularly neat in the direction, and I'm sort of crossing over. If I do it large, I'm crossing over. So each time my hand is staying still, but I'm pushing up with my fingers. So it's my fingers that are doing the work, not my hand or my wrist. It's my fingers. I think she's got a couple of sort of roots that come down a little bit further as well, which we can add in. Pleasure. I'm going to apply a little bit more pressure when we come into the darker area. Bring some of those down into the skin section. I forgot I didn't put the link in the description because I'm a donut. And then just got a few sort of light straggly hairs, which if I bring my hand up the pen again, I can alter. Also, if you tilt your pen at a different angle, you can also change how much ink comes out. So if I want to really get a light, I think that's almost super light, so I'm just going to alter the angle until I get out. There we go. Just to create a little bit more of a blend. Right, now I'm going to go across and start picking out some of the more defined eyebrow hairs and really make them dark. So we're going to be going over them a few times. So just go backwards and forwards. How's everyone getting on? And you can do some little ones that just come through, because you always get those little stray ones, don't you, that sort of taper off or just come down below. Oh, it sounds like it's tipping it down. Right, I'm going to stop for now until I get a couple of replies to make sure that you're doing okay. I want to make sure you're all right. I'm glad to entertain you, Rob. Oh, we've ordered a game for Christmas. And if you've never played it before, it's a really, really good game. It's a really family friendly game. It's actually one that Amelie, when she doesn't cheat, we really, really enjoy it. And it's called Labyrinth, and they've just brought out a Labyrinth 3D. I think Eyebrows and Eyelashes. So how are you doing on the eyelashes so far, Georgina? The bit I'm going to work on now is this section here. And what I'm going to do is I'm really going to tilt the angle of my pen until I get it to a point where I start to sort of come up, and then I'll get it to a point where I'm happy with the amount of colour that's being laid down. So we're just getting the basics done of the sort of main shadow in that area. And in here we start getting darker. This is where you can start to cross hatch if you want, or if you want something more solid, I'm sure it's great. Let's just get that line in there so we know where that shadow line is going to be. So we're just going to make it a little bit darker as we come down into this line here. And for me, I'm just going to go over the same area. And then where we've got the pen lines here, I'm just going to start to just go in the other direction and cross hatch over that to match it up a bit. And you're just going to have to, depending on if you're using a different reference, I just need to follow that shadow round and shade this bit out a little bit. I need to get more of an angle on there because it's a little bit darker than what I want it to be. And where it's very dark in here, we can just work on putting that shadow in. You don't want to go too heavy here because obviously we need to get our eyelashes in and you need to see them. So just get your main darkest area in. And then just work on getting your mid shadow down. Now I need to really lighten it up then. So I'm going to try and come up as far as the pen will allow me before it stops putting any ink out too far. Hopefully you can see that through the camera. I don't know how well you're going to see that. While I've got that rhythm in my hand and I know that that's roughly the angle I need, I'm going to come and do the rest of the mid-tone or the mid-shadows over this side. always used to that when I started drawing. I never allowed myself enough room. As I say, I'm no expert at biro drawing. I'm just doing it in a way that I've done it in the past, and it's worked fairly well. But I mean, it gives you the basics, and then you can either go on and obviously watch more tutorials and things like that. So to stop this sort of spotting, I guess. I mean, I quite like the fact that it adds to the texture. I'm just going to go in the other direction, so we're just going to cross hatch that bit out where I've gone a little bit too dark. I don't know how much light's shining on that. Fair whack. See, look, I'm already smudging. Where I've poked it, I'm already smudging biro on my... I wonder if how, because it's on there pretty light. Oh, it does come off. Okay, so going back to my reference, I'm just going to lightly draw in and we're just going to shade it in here. We're just going to use tiny little circles to shade that in. Just don't forget to leave any highlights you see as negative space, because you cannot undo it. Much darker in here. I'm not used to the chat being so quiet. Oh, bless you. Oh, bless you, Emily. Time to chill now, my lovely. Just going to slowly blend that out. I've got my hand quite far up the pen. I'm just going to try and blend that. In fact, I might cross hatch that just to blend that out a little bit more. Now, a lot of her eye is in shadow, so I'm just going to, whether I think I'm getting colour down or not, I'm going to go to the lightest lay down I can get of ink. And I'm just going to go over and over and over and over until I think, okay, I either need to move it up, or I layer up enough that I think, okay, I don't need any more. Because I'd rather go a little bit lighter to begin with, as with pencil. Do you think you're going to have a go then, guys, if you're not doing it now? It's the joy of these being here, is that you can just come back any time and have another go. A little bit of veining, so I'm going to go really lightly. Pen. Still need to blend this out a little bit more. Right, I'm going to go and do a bit of pointillism here just to help me blend it out. TikTok song. Would it be okay to get lashes in? Because you should be going in fairly light. Well, it depends on your reference. You can put them in first if you want to. Just be aware that if you're working up here and you've already got your lashes down, you're more than likely going to end up smudging it. So just be careful. Hi Gary, you're right. Hi Thomas. So yeah, I'm just going to use the pointillism just to help blend that out, and we've got a little bit of shadow up here that's a bit darker than normal. So the closer you put your dots, the darker the shadow, the further away your dots, the lighter the shadow. If you want, I'm not going to on here, but if you want, or shall I for the sake of it? If you've got one of these guides or an egg cup or whatever, then if you want to get it absolutely precise on the eye, you can. It's up to you. I think I might do it today for demo purposes actually. Let's go with, I think I need to go with the bigger one. When in doubt, go bigger. And she's got pretty dark around the outside, so I'm not going to worry too much about how much pressure I put on. I'm going to do the same with the pupil. I'm quite lucky that the reference doesn't have any light as such that goes across the pupil. It tends to be across the iris. Okay, so I'm going to keep, we're going to have to work up here now, so I'm going to keep it tilted as far as I can. I'm just going to keep going over and over. You probably can barely see it, but there is ink coming out. Or am I just denting? Oh no, it is. So am I just denting my paper? I haven't taken a decent photo of Loki today, but he is finished if any of you guys want to see him, because I'm aware I've shown the video but not the actual image. I'm just going to keep, while I've got the flow, I'm just going to keep coming out. Annoying me having that lid on for some reason. I haven't done biro drawings like this since I was a teenager. I'm going to cross hatch slightly here just for the blend out. Okay, give me a second then, I'll, oh, pen's coming undone. I'll grab him out of the drawer, because that's where he lives right now. So where I want to build the blend out here, I'm just going to cross hatch. It just helps soften that blend. Okay, so Loki is, I don't know how much of a glare you're going to get from the light above. Oh, there you go. If I tilt it like that. So there he is. I'm so pleased with how his armour came out. Really happy. It's not an easy medium, which is why I don't do it that often. But I wanted to set you guys a challenge because it is quite fun. It is quite a fun thing to do, and it can be quite challenging. Most people I know that do biro drawings tend to do it on a larger scale because when you're zoomed out, obviously you don't see all the lines and the detail. Thank you guys. So the crease in here needs to be a bit darker. So I'm just going to go over that again with ink. And there is only so much saturation you can get down. I'm going to blend that out a little bit more up here. And I'm just, again, going to do that by cross-hatching quite lightly. It just helps to give it a bit more of a softer blend out. Oh yeah. Like the bank ones we get. These have a really fine nib actually. I'm quite pleased with these ones. They're only really cheap things, but I love sketching with biro. I don't know why. There's just something. I don't know. I just love it. I'm now going to start drawing in some of these eyelashes that are here. Because this is the darkest area of the image, so I do want to get these in, but I'm not going to do all of the eyelashes. I mean, she's got a fair chunk of mascara on, so I haven't got a problem with making them nice and thick. I'm not bothered about going in there because it's going to be covered anyway. So now I know how much darker I need to go on the, oh thank you, how much darker I need to go here by how visible the eyelashes are. So on the reference, the eyelashes are fairly dark against the shadow in the background, so I know that I need to go much darker. Again, I'm going to cross hatch this. Somebody actually gave me a really good idea. They turned around and said to just literally scroll and then stop. So that's probably the way I'm going to have to do it. I'm celebrating reaching 90,000 followers on my TikTok, so I'm doing a giveaway on my TikTok. There will be Facebook and group ones as well later on. It's just that, as I say, ask me in February. Oh, make sure you do. It'd be nice to see what everybody does. So just to blend that out down here, I'm just gonna cross hatch a little bit till it blends a little bit more. And she's got quite a bit of texture on her eye, so I am going to do a bit of stippling too. If I tilt it, yeah, there you go. So that's how we're looking so far. I've got quite a tilt on my pen, and I'm literally just adding a bit of mid shadow behind the eyelashes here. Then there's quite a big light source here, so I'm going to start to angle out this shadow. There's more light here than there should be, so I'm going to keep cross-hatching over that. And you'll work your own little different ways of doing things anyway, but I'm going to put some crease lines in, because I do that on most of the eyes that I do. You tend to get little sort of crease eye lines. What, pick you? Right, I can come along to here now and just start building up the shadow in here. And it stops sort of around this area, so I'm just going to use the pen to mark roughly where I need to stop. A bit heavy there, but and I need to come out into where the bottom of the eyebrow sits. It generally sort of meets. Keep going with the crosshatch. Okay, so that's where we are at the moment. I'm just going to come in the opposite direction again. Oh man, big splop. Oh well. Panic not. I'll pretend it's a dot instead, shall I? Like so. See, I meant it to be there. I was hoping I'd be able to use one of them random comment pickers like Woobox for Facebook, but for TikTok you have to pay. I'm going to do some more lighter hairs coming down underneath, just to get that looking a little bit more natural. And then we want to go behind is a few in the opposite direction, which normally is the way with eyebrows. Hers seem to be poking very upwards though. I'm just going to do them so it sits behind. did. Totally had a freckle there. Never have known. Okay, so we want to blend this out. So again, I've got my hand right up the end of the pencil. Just going to use backwards and forwards just to get the lightest that I can get down to begin with. And then I can just alter it slightly. To blend it out. Excuse me while I have a sip of my coffee with an extra flavour. So much easier with WooBox. But yeah, somebody said just sort of scroll up the comments and literally just press stop. So I might get Amelie to pick the winner for me. So at the moment, I think I'm happy-ish with the way it's shaded out. I might bring it out a little bit more. And then this little crease here, you need to have a highlight area and a shadow. So I'm just going to gently go over and leave like a little pinch of highlight, and then I'm just going to come in and go over again just to darken it slightly nearer this line so it has much more of a rounded appearance. And I'm going to sketch over very lightly the top half and then a bit of the bottom half. Like so. I bet it doesn't. Okay, let's now work on, we could do the eyelashes actually. Let's get the rest of the eyelashes done. So again, just follow, don't panic too much if you do lose your lines. Just really make sure you're looking at your reference. She has legitimately got a mole there by the looks of it. Or freckle. Looks like a little mole. Could have got away with that. The eyebrow's a bit too close. Oh, what, you've brought this, maybe this down a bit too close. Yeah, but that's all about, you know, it's about learning, isn't it? You know, for next time. If you know you can do a decent job in biro, then you know you're going to be able to do one in pencil. So it's a good confidence builder. Okay, so I know I can make that a touch darker there. And we need to build up the shadow in this bit too, so I can bring that out a bit more. I mean, apart from going over with black, there is only so much depth you can get with a blue pencil. You can only put so much saturation down before there's, you know, you're at your maximum. I'm just very lightly blending out and coming down into where it's a little bit highlighted. There we go, so far. I'm just going to cry in my bed. Excuse me for... Oh, bless you. You'll be fine, Mads. I hope you're still in it. I've made the eye actually too small by the looks of it. Bye. Looks like that's the original size there. My daughter says she can draw. I was the same when I was younger. I found it much easier to draw in pen, but then I think it's because it got me to the result quicker. I don't know whether it was a lazy thing. I don't know for me, but I'm just going to draw around where the punch of highlight needs to be on her eyes. So to begin with, I can draw around those. So in fact, let's just work on the iris. So her iris up the top here is actually pretty dark. So I'll end up cross hatching quite a lot. But I don't want to go too dark because I want the pupil to stand out. Going to do some harder lines coming out from the middle. You can work in little small circular motions when it comes to doing these really dark areas. But just when you come out from there, you just need to soften them slightly. You know, if you followed any of my tutorials before for eyes, you just, you know, this bit is never harsh, so you have to soften where the iris meets the white of the eyeball. So you have to soften it very gently. Because they're never really harsh lines. So I'm going to probably end up skipping from area to area. The cat's had enough of waiting for me to move now. Slow and steady, huh? Just getting the shadow underneath the bottom of the eyelid. She's got quite a deep shadow on this side. Finish that in a minute. So we're going to come back up here, strengthen some of these, leave the highlights as negative space for now. I have heard it's very good though. I'm really bad at reading books. I'm not much of a reader. I used to be, Right, I'm going to do the pupil, and I'm just going to have to layer and layer and layer on the pupil. So we get that as dark as I can. I'm only going to layer on this section and keep some of this a bit paler. I don't know if it's going to make a huge difference. I'm going to blend out from the pupil as well, because I like to have that softness from the pupil out into the iris. Right, on this bit I'm actually going to go over the whole thing, including the highlight, because all I'm going to do then is build up the mid-tones around it. Okie dokie, we're getting there. How are you doing, guys, for those of you who are joining in? I can see that I need to go a tiny touch darker on some of the areas in here, so I'll do that now quickly while I'm this side. I'm going to cross hatch that shadow out so it's a bit more blended looking. I'm going to zoom you out so you can get a bit of an idea as if you were looking at this from a distance. So that's it so far, where you're looking at it from a distance. Yay, Erica! I'm going to tilt it so you haven't got the light directly reflecting, but that's where we are so far. Getting there. I need to get some more lashes in there, I think, looking at the... She's got quite a strong part of her iris there and in here, so I'm just going to shade that in roughly. And then there's a very light bit of shading in the shadow, in the highlight area here. I just want to put that detail in so it looks more like a natural reflection. I just need to soften up the outer edge of the pupil. You wait, I'm going to have somebody later on who's a biro guru come and watch my live feed and just absolutely go, oh, you know, you're wrong. Bring that down and around to give that a bit more shape in there. Then we need to be a bit darker out on this corner, so I'm just going to tilt the pen. Just get some more shading going on there. I do, yeah, there's just something about it. I really love it. Well, I am at this stage going to draw in the lower lashes, but I'm not going to be as heavy. Although she is wearing mascara, I don't want to be as heavy on the bottom lashes to begin with. Now I've got them in place, I can work on getting a couple a little bit heavier if needed. It's definitely the biro. Yeah, definitely the biro. See, mine's just blobbed up there. So the darkest section under here, and it's blobbed again, is here. So So again, just tilting the pen so I can just hopefully build the shadows up. Oh, that's a good idea. Let's carry on with the eyeballs. I seem to have skipped ahead a little bit. I'll soften this side of the pupil. I need to bring my hand right up because I just want to just blend that a little bit more, but I don't want to lose any or too much of the white area that I have. That needs to be shaped up a bit more, I've noticed. Well, I'm quite pleased with how it's turning out so far. It's been an extremely long time since I've done anything in biro like this. And had I used ink pen, it wouldn't have blobbed like this, but I don't know. I like the feeling of the biro. I thought next week I'll carry on with the pyrography and try and get some more of that wolf done with the new nibs. A little bit. Completely lost camera, haven't we? Yep. Oh. Camera live, I could really throw it out the window sometimes. I'm using the Spectrum Noir alcohol marker paper because it's nice and smooth, but it's, like you say, it's not glossy. I'm going to tilt that slightly so we can get a bit of a better view without the light shining too much on it. So it's that so far. Definitely hot pressed. Yeah, I personally wouldn't use cold pressed. Right, let's darken up a bit more around here. You should be able to use your Bristol board easily. I'm just looking now where I need to darken certain areas. I think I can bring some of these little eyebrow sections down as well. Yes, it's blobbed there, which is really annoying. I wonder if you can. Does work a little bit. Well, Bristol board is essentially what I'm using at the moment. Okay, so apart from her really thick eyebrow that we've got there, we're just going to make it up now and pretend that it's dark. So I'm going to recover from this bit somehow. How much archival quality is there though to biro? It did double up just then, yeah. It hasn't now. Because I wouldn't have thought biro itself would be archival, but I guess it is to a point. I'll give you another look at Loki in a minute when we're panned right up. No, that's what I wondered. I guess you could do the same with like an Indian ink though. Do you think you could? Use like a dip pen? Why did I do that? I've got my glass dip pen. We could have had a go doing it like that. That would have been quite fun. Right, this all needs to be dark under here. I'm coming up slightly because I think the edge is too smooth for my liking. come back to doing this shadow down here that I started. Got a little bit ahead of myself. I'm going to have to do your tissue trick. Oh, I love using glass tip pens. Oh, they're just amazing. I had to replace mine because the tip broke. So I've kept the plastic on it because my other one didn't come with any plastic on the end. But they are really, really nice to use. And I use them with the Spectrum Noir inks because they just flow up so nicely. I think we're going to have to do one. What do you reckon, guys? Keep going until I'm dark enough. I'm just going to do some light strokes in the direction that you generally get under the eye. If I goes it roughly in angled direction, actually it will give me the little white skin bumps in between. All I've got to do is blend that bit out. Shadow detail in. I think we are almost there. So let's blend that out. I'd say the sound of this is more satisfying than a pencil. I'll give you a quick demo in a minute, Rob. You can see what they're like. I don't think I want to go much. I'm using the Spectrum Noir marker paper, so it's really smooth. Right, one last tinker up here, and then I think we're done on that. I forgot how shiny it goes when you've got loads of layers down. Here we go. Oh no, she's going in the other direction. A little bit more on the eye, I think. Yeah, I think I have done it on a live somewhere. I can't remember. Thank you, Sabine. I say it's been a few years since I've done anything like this. And of course I have to go do it on a live feed, but I want to show people that, you know, we all get nervous about doing stuff. I'm going to do them as our eyelashes because I don't like the shape of those. I think eyelashes feel a bit more natural. Okay, so if I turn the overhead off, actually. Oh no, it's too dark. Hang on. There you go. So that's the results with the overhead off. Let's grab. Let's just. It was that, I promise. can't get the bloody lid off. Eh. Lid off. Oh my god. Done it. Oh look, I don't have to ask Coffee Man to get me some water. I'm going to show you an awesome quick trick, tutorial thing. In fact, let's get another colour. That's got glitter in it, but it won't matter. Right. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. Should we sign it? How long did that take? 1 hour 57 minus hiccups here and there. I would probably say 1 hour 40. Something like that. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Yeah, she looks alright, doesn't she? Well, let's move her out the way. Right, little tutorial for you. I have to keep changing my settings each time I do it. Let me zoom out quickly. I'm just going to put a little bit of blue in there. And a tiny bit of purple in there because the purple's actually really strong. Okay. Right, first of all, let's show you how the dip pen works. So the dip pen, I'm literally just going to pop it in and hopefully you'll see it start running up the pen. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Can I do that one-handed without dropping it? Can you see it going up the nib? So it's gone about halfway. So I'm going to show you on this scrap bit of paper how far it goes. And we're still going. And we're still going. And if I dip it very quickly into the purple, I've dipped it very quickly into the purple. I'll say it twice because apparently it's important. So we went into the purple. And then it blends out into the blue. So if I do that again very quickly. There you go. I don't think so. I'm just going to tip it down a little bit so we can get some more running down that way. Why? Have you just done it? So you can see I'm still going. If you run out in that direction, turn it. And then you'll get more ink. And then you can keep turning it until you run out. Glass pen, glass dip pen. Get them from eBay. You can pick them up really cheap. I think mine was $2.99, but it's still going. Look. This one feels really scratchy though. I might have to get a bit of sandpaper on that. You can get some really, really fine. Right, so for the sake of what we're going to do, I'm going to wash it out, and now it's clean. Nice and clean now. Satisfying, isn't it? Okay. I want to show you a little tutorial. And we're probably going to do one and then I'm going to log. Let's zoom right out. With my MacGyver camera that is currently being held on a broken tripod stand by about 50 elastic bands, because that's what you want to do with a expensive camera, isn't it? I'm going to use the number 8 brush, I think. Is this 8? No, it's 10. Right, ready? I'm going to grab a bit of my blue, put some colour on my paintbrush. And I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to put a line down with colour. There, and I might actually grab a bit of purple on that side, and I'm going to totally saturate my brush. And I'm going to start from one side, I'm going to pull it up, and then the other side. Just going to round it off down the bottom. Pointier top, shall we? Like so. And then on the bottom I'm just going to do some little loose bits. Like so. And then I'm going to get myself a clean dry brush. If I can find one that my kid hasn't completely mullered. I'm going to wet it with just, I say clean water, but it is clearly purple. And then I'm going to start from this end and drag the brush through. I'm going to wipe it, wet it, drag the brush through. If you followed any of my watercolour live feeds before or tutorials, you know that it's called a, go for it, what's it called? When it's a clean wet or a dry clean brush. You can do this as many times as you want. And then I'm now literally going to go from here out and lift. Let me zoom you in. So I'm coming in from the middle and I'm coming out and I'm lifting as I reach the edge. I'm going to do the same the other side. And just lift as you come out towards the edge. I have to turn it. Oh no, there we go, all right. Going to go up as far as that side. Yay! Well done, Emily. And then while I have it here, we might as well use it to put a huge amount on. I'm going to dip it in the water because I don't want the colour too strong. Let's turn it so it might be a bit easier. It definitely needs smoothing out, this pen. It is a bit too scratchy. Scratching up my watercolour paper. Now you know, Gary, now you know. Grab some purple, I think, too. I'm going to zoom you out so you can see. Oh, I hope you feel better soon, lovely. Right, I'm going to get a clean wet brush. And I'm just going to overly saturate it. And then I'm going to tap as clean as my water can be, water over the top. Tiny bit of the purple, I really don't want this to be too much. Bit of the blue. And then I need a bit of kitchen roll. Might do one more coat of clean water. With a larger brush. It's the only trouble with Spectrum, well, it's not trouble at all, it's so pigmented, the Spectrum Noir stuff. You need so little of it. Look, that's, I mean, I only put a tiny bit of purple in there, but I'm going to get my tissue, lay it over the top. And then you've got your nice little texture there. I love it. I love it. Look at the kitchen roll. Even the kitchen roll's pretty. Oh, yes. Do a few more streaky bits. Where it's lost it a little bit too much. There we go. I'm leaving it as that. There you go. How to do a quick feather. How quick was that? Huh? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'll just have a play about with that nib, see if I can get it sanded down a bit. Right, they can stay there because I really can't be asked to tidy. I don't know whether you'll see it in the camera. It's not particularly... Oh, you can just about see it there. A bit of a twinkle. Because the purple had glitter in it. In fact, not that I've got more product that come through the door today. It's not me. It's not me. The inks from Spectrum Noir, yeah, these are aqua tints, the ones that come in the pot, but I prefer to have them in these containers because they're easier to control, and I'm so messy that if I use the pots they end up everywhere. So I always, I mean, these are so cheap to buy, and I managed to colour coordinate because they sent like different coloured lids. And then these arrived this morning. Look at that loveliness. Give 'em a shake. I think that blue's probably too light actually. I was going to use this on the feather, but I think it's too light. Yeah. So these are the pastel shades. Oh, just look at that. Look at that. Let me do a full. These are very much the same lay down as you get with the jelly roll pen. So if you've ever used the Sakura jelly rolls, you'll get the same sort of lay down. Oh, Mary man, look at that colour. That's like the best colour in the world. Drawn all over my hands. There you go. You see that? Aren't they lush? And not only that, you can put, this isn't watercolour paper, but you can play about on watercolour paper with them. And it's just yummy, absolutely yummy. I will do some pictures with them at some point. I have to, as part of the agreement. Anywho, I'm faffing now. So hopefully you guys will have a go. Please have a go, because I'd love to see what you come up with, and come and share it in the group. Please, please, please. Yeah, I'll see you either in a live over on TikTok, or I'll see you back here on Wednesday. And Wednesday I am going to try and finish off, or do some more on that wolf at least anyway. I know there's quite a bit of delay between what you hear and what I say, but have a good morning, afternoon, whichever it may be. And it's the law, you got to. Yeah, you have. You really do. Yeah, stay safe everybody, and if I don't see some of you before Christmas, oh, she's already played with them. Nothing in my office is my own ever. But have a good Christmas everybody, if I don't speak to some of you before then, but if not, I'll see you in the group or Facebook or wherever the hell I lurk. So anyway, bye guys, thank you for joining me. Bye.